Yo, 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 what is going on, everybody? Welcome into another episode. Obviously, here to talk about our favorite team, the Arizona Cardinals. And I'm joined by my good buddy here, Mythic AZ. What's up, brother, man? How you doing? And how was your weekend?
Man, doing good. Cannot complain. The weekend flew by, I'll tell you that much. The weekend came and went.
It absolutely did. Big shout out to the people that are currently in the chat. Classy,
Absolutely.
Andrew, Raphael, Adrian. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. We got a lot to talk about today. Over the weekend, we got some rumors that we're going to be talking about. Over the weekend, we heard, or I guess not the weekend, but last week we heard from Monty and Michael Bidwell on 98.7 FM. We'll talk about that as well. And then the salary cap. Pretty big news here, and we're going to be diving into how much money we got, how does it break down, and why I was so darn confused with it. So we're going to be diving into all that here pretty soon. Let's get started here, shall we? Let's talk about, I guess, big takeaways from Michael Bidwell and Monty Austin for going on our local radio station 98.7 and being a part of that Newsmakers Week. What did you think about Michael Bidwell's, I guess, talks and things that he had to say, and as well as Monty Austin for it?
I didn't really watch the Michael Bidwell one. I'm not going to lie. I saw the Monty one, but the Michael Bidwell one, I didn't see much clips on it, and I didn't actually get to see a lot of the video. I saw a single clip, and I heard people were saying they were avoiding the hard-hitting questions, and people wanted to dive in on all the allegations and all that. So I'll let you kind of cover the Michael Bidwell one a little more because I didn't really get to watch that one. But I liked what Monty was saying. He was preaching rookies are the future. He's excited to have all this draft capital, kind of reiterated Kyler's the franchise, that a lot of pieces do need to step up. Just a lot of what we heard at the event too was kind of just reiterated here. It's just nice to have a GM that's transparent with you. You know what I'm saying? Like a GM that'll hop on here and be like, listen, this is the nature of the business. This is what we're doing, blah, blah, blah. We're going to build through here. He's not going to drop oh yeah, we looked into this guy right here. We're going to try to establish the offensive line, then pick up a couple guards, then the draft address here. He has a plan, but he hints at it subtly, which I love because he's not going to sit here and just drop it. But I feel like Monty Austin Ford has his head in it. And unlike somebody else, it just gives me positive optimism, which I feel like a lot of Cardinals fans are feeling. And I think you're kind of feeling the same thing for Monty.
Yeah, no, I am. Honestly, it's a good feeling. It is. And I can only imagine it's a good feeling for the people that are in the locker room / organization as well. Because like we said, when we went to that event, in terms of when we had that, when we heard from Monty and JG, it is kind of the same things that we heard right from the radio from that event. So I'm honestly really happy. And honestly, I think I'm kind of to the point where, I agree. I love everything, but actions speak louder than words. And I really do hope it translates in there. Now, one thing that I think we got from this interview, as well as the Michael Bidwell interview as well, that we didn't get in the event, is the fact that he said that we were going to be active in free agency.
Oh, yeah.
That's exciting. That's pretty cool. Now, honestly, with the whole cap situation, we're going to be diving into the numbers specifically a little later on. But how does that make you feel? Did you feel before that the Cardinals were going to be active? Now, this doesn't mean we're going to go on a shopping spree, right? We're going to that doesn't mean that, but it means that we're going to be actually looking for potential veterans out there that are ballers that are going to be able to translate and help us out. How do you feel about that? When Monty, as well as Michael Bidwell, ended up saying that as well.
It's nice to hear. It's what we've been talking about for the past however months. The Cardinals have so many positions in need that we need to go out and address. I mean, obviously the GM out of everybody is going to know that. I mean, he evaluates the team. He knows the talent. So it's just nice to hear that he's going to be at least semi-active or at least active in free agency and trying to address positions that need to be better. So our last season didn't go the way that anybody wanted. 4 or 5 wins, you never want your football team to finish anywhere close to that. But there is potential here. Monty sees it. This locker room sees it. Our head coach, Jonathan Gannon, sees it. So with a couple more pieces and the ability with this, 6 picks within the top 100 and 7 within the first 3 rounds, that's a lot of capital already to bring in 100 of the best players. You get 6 of those. Whoever's on your draft board, you're getting people that you think are going to positively impact this team, and you got money to spend. So I'm very optimistic for next season. I've already said it. I think we're going to be legit playoff contenders when everything goes right. Not if, when everything goes right. I think we are going to be actual playoff contenders next year in a weak NFC. And I'm standing on that. I think Monty Austin Fort's going to go spend on the right positions. I don't think he's going to do anything stupid. Because he also made that comment too, where he said, that's what a free agency is. Some people get overpaid.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
So
absolutely. Absolutely. I do think it's very important to know the fact that it is cool. It is cool to hear both the owner and our GM end up saying the same thing about being active in free agency, because I heard some Cardinal fans not being very, very excited, right? They're saying things like, oh, just show me, right? Show me what it is. Well, show me what you're going to do first. And I can see where they're coming from. They might be long-term since 88, and they're probably just kind of tired of it. But honestly, I
yeah,
think there's a lot of optimism, a lot of excitement heading into this next year. So let me dive into the whole Michael Bidwell situation here. And then I'm going to ask you that question, because I think I heard you say that somebody said that they had to miss an opportunity to ask the hard question. So we'll dive into that a
yeah,
little later on, or I guess a little after what I end up saying here about Michael. Michael Bidwell, when he came on, he said a lot of the a lot of the good things, right? A lot of things that made it seem like, okay, he has like a change of heart, but like, I don't know, man. I'm kind of in that weird situation where I feel like the Cardinals organization would be in much better state if the Bidwells weren't owning the Cardinals. But I mean, we don't have billionaires on our Rolodex, right? We don't have them on
yeah.
speed dial. So we kind of have to have or stick with what we have, unfortunately. But I mean, he did say a lot of the right things, right? He did say that Monty Austin-Fort is going to have the resources, which is an exciting thing to hear, because they did end up asking him, like, where do you see this happening, right? Because we could hear Monty Austin-Fort talk for days, right? We could hear him envision, this is the way I want my team, but the money's coming from him. The money's
Oh
coming
yeah.
from Michael Bidwell. Like, he's the one forking up the money. So he said that Monty's going to have all the resources. So that's cool. But show me, right? Show me first. Instead of me getting like really, really excited, show me that that's actually the case. Now, obviously, like we said earlier, I don't think we're going to go on a big spending spree, but if we can get one or two solid pieces that's going to like jump up these these cores, right? Like this wide receiving core, or not even wide receiving, like edge position, interior, or a guard position, and we feel confident and it makes it so much better. I think I would be happy with that. And then maybe obviously sprinkle in a little bit of people here and there. So overall, I think Michael Bidwell said what he said. I wasn't mad at it, but I'm curious to figure out, I guess, who said what, or I guess the what you were saying a little earlier. So chime onto that.
I'm not entirely sure, but there just seemed like a lot of backlash coming because
Oh, okay.
obviously Michael Bidwell has a lot of allegations going around right now,
Oh,
and a
that's
lot
right.
of
Okay.
people are very teeter-tottering back and forth. And I didn't watch the interview, so I don't really know what he said necessarily.
Gotcha.
But people were coming for his neck, like Bickley and was it Marotta?
Murata, yeah.
I believe they were just like coming, like they need to ask the hard-hitting questions. I'm like, they're not going to invite someone on the podcast and like slam the dude. Like
Crucify him.
like
Yeah.
although we do want answers to that, they're not going to have him on here and just crucify him in that moment, because he'll
Yeah.
just walk off the set and be like, okay, cool, like you
Yeah.
might as well ask the questions and then call it a day. But like I get it, because there is a lot coming out, so it's just tough. Like
I
a lot of people want him gone.
yeah. There's a lot of frustration amongst the fan base. Like I said a little earlier, I think I would be happier if the Bidwells didn't own the Cardinals. It's just we can't do anything,
Have that
right?
luxury
Yeah, we
to
don't have that luxury
boot
to be like,
him.
okay, just switch it, right? We can't just veto him out. It just doesn't work like that. And I do agree with what you just said in terms of like, it's tough, man. You can't, especially the state of where the Cardinals are right now. I think a podcast or any radio station, but they're not going to burn a bridge for somebody's curiosity in terms of wanting to know the hard-hitting questions. That's not their job to do. They're a sports radio station. And I get there's some big allegations going on, but they're not going to be like, in the morning, we're going to ask Michael Bidwell, owner of the Arizona Cardinals. It's just not going to happen that way, right? Leave it to other journalists. Leave it to the people at ESPN that have no ties. You got to
Yeah,
remember here, at the end of the day, they're a business. And they really, really lean heavily on the fact that they got connections. And sometimes it sucks because you could obviously tell, especially when the whole Cliff Kingsbury thing, a lot of people were very, very resistant to say Cliff Kingsbury should be going. A
oh
lot of
yeah,
people were resistant because of the ties they have with them, right? Because of the interviews they have with them. And sometimes somebody buddy, or them personally. You don't want to come after and say you should fire him. It's a kind of the hard part of the job. So I don't mind it at all. I didn't personally see that tweet or the people that are coming after the neck of Michael Bidwell. I honestly don't care. To me, if it happens in terms of he needs to sell, cool. It only benefits me as a Cardinal fan, but
Right.
I don't think it's up to the radio station hosts in the morning to be superheroes. That's just kind of the way I stand on it.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, cool. Let's move on to the salary cap, shall we? We ended up getting some news here with salary cap going up about $30 million for the entirety of the NFL. And of course, Cardinal fans were very, very excited. And not just Cardinal fans, we got the whole NFL fans very excited because the salary cap goes up. What are your thoughts on the initial, I guess, number that we have? Do you know what the number is personally?
Did we go up? I believe we went up to like 55.
Yeah. So
right?
we got
55
two.
mil?
Yeah, we got two websites that I very, very depend on over the cap, and I believe Spot Track. They do a very, very good job in actually keeping the numbers very, very, very easy and transparent, especially for the people that like me. I don't want to do the homework. That's a lot of math. That's a lot of stuff I don't really care about. But with what they said is that the Cardinals right now have a estimated of 55 to 57 million. One of them says 57, the other one says 55. So the number is pretty close. I'm just going to say 55 to 57. So that moved from 42 million in change to 55 to 47. But there was a $30 million increase. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I was super confused. I was like, what the heck? The math ain't mathing. Well,
Right.
why are we only moving up, 15 or 16? Here's the reason why. And if you guys were confused out there as well, let me kind of let my dumbness. Hopefully you guys learned something. So basically the number of $42 million was because of they were automatically already estimating the fact that there was going to be a pay increase for the salary cap. But nobody thought that the salary cap was going to be $30 million. They were estimating that it was going to go up to $242 million. That's just an estimation. So the Cardinals were expected to have about $42 million. And I was like, oh, that's cool. But I didn't think, or I didn't know that it was automatically implemented already. I didn't know that. So that's on me. So right now the Cardinals are $55 to $57 million with the increase of the salary cap. And that's still huge. That's still
insane.
a huge number.
Hey, this is the one time I'm going to say this. Shout out Taylor Swift, man. I mean, the revenue is crazy. Like that revenue jump doesn't happen without that. So, I mean, shout out. Oh, man.
You're right, man. You're right. I know it's kind of giving at the end of the day. I mean, it's no sweat off my back. I honestly stopped caring. And the Super Bowl, I made no comments. I was just like, all right, give me a good game. That's all I care about. And if it did help the NFL, good for them, right? Good for the people at the top. But also we got to acknowledge too that the salary cap went up, but also markets are going up for wide receivers. Edge.
It means, trust me, the quarterback pay, receiver pay, edge rusher, they're like, oh, cool. That just gives us a chance to wreck the market once again. Like we got Kyler Murray at what, $44 million?
That's a steal right now.
It's probably going to be in the $62, $64 million
for new quarterbacks.
Soon. Yep. And I don't even know what quarterbacks need to get paid, or like what quarterbacks are about to have a payday. Like, did Justin Herbert get paid?
I think he already did, if I'm not mistaken. So
Herbert got paid. I mean, Kirk Cousins is about to be paid by somebody.
Yep.
I don't even know who's available, but like, there's going to be a lot of people who are about to get a massive payday. Like the Ravens just signed Lamar Jackson, so they lucked out because a $30 million increase is ridiculous.
It's crazy, but it's inflation, man. It's happening in our personal lives as well. I mean, to me, getting groceries used to be $150. Now it's averaging $212, $250 now, and it's the same amount of food that I'm getting.
Man.
So it's insane, dude. It's just it's insane to see how many things are going up, and it's the same thing with the NFL too. So although on paper it looks cool that it's a pay increase, but like you're just allocating more money to a player that obviously deserves it. I mean, these people really deserve money. So I'm not complaining about that. It's just that it's tough. So you really got to be very smart on the way that you're moving this money around. And I'm not saying throwing it around, but we're trusting Monty to be able to build this team out right. So fingers crossed that.
Just like a good old inflation adjusted bonus where the bonus is absolutely nothing.
Imagine that was our profession, brother. Imagine that was our profession. Man. Something like that where we can say, oh, right. Oh, pay increase, just an extra $2 million. No big deal. Imagine
just a casual $2.5 million.
It's not even
for quarterbacks, it's going to be like $8 to $10 million per year.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like Baker Mayfield
already I think he's already knocking on the door of Jerry Jones and being like, bro, although he probably just got an extension like a year or two ago, he's probably
Yeah.
already been like, bro, I'm America's team quarterback.
Right. Like all the backlash I get, pay me.
Yeah, dude, it's insane. So it's cool. I'm honestly really happy for the NFL. It makes obviously things to talk about, things exciting. Did you hear Brian Burns? Um,
What came out?
So basically, the Panthers are trying to re-sign him. Obviously, right? Who wouldn't? Who want to re-sign him? Who wouldn't want to? Sorry.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't want anything less than 30 mil a year.
Oh, I saw that.
Dude, like, oh, bro, that's so much money. That's so much freaking money.
And apparently they offered him 27.
Yeah.
And he declined it. Like, I get it because, like, over 4 years, that's 12 mil, or 5 years, that's 15. So it's like that 3 million does make a difference for people who are like 27 versus 30. That doesn't matter. That's 15 mil spread out across those 4 or 5 years, however long they extend him for. And I think they can get him for a 5-year, if I'm not mistaken. So that's $15 million. Like, of course you're going to want that if you're Brian Burns, but like, I don't know. That's a hefty penny.
Unless that's a ploy for him to say, I don't want to come back to the Panthers. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just speculating, but that's insane, bro. The 30 million. Like, I want Brian Burns, but we only have 54. We have 54, 55,
allocating
57.
Over half is
one player.
It's one dude. I don't know, because edge is definitely a premier position, but
it is. Oh, it is. Yep.
30 mil. I think I'm good. I think I'm good.
I mean, I think you would get more of a bargain, and I mean bargain like cheaper than that. It's still going to be expensive in terms of maybe getting your guy, Jalen Johnson. I mean, that seems a little bit more realistic if the Cardinals go after a cornerback.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we all want edge. I think it's definitely obvious. It's just, man, that seems like a lot of money. Unless he gets what he wants, and then the Arizona Cardinals somehow figure out a way to restructure a contract that's very, very, like, kind of like the Rams do, where it's like very, very shady, which we don't really do, but I don't know.
What's tough though is I've seen edges get paid recently and kind of just fall off a cliff. Like Shaq Barrett got paid in the last years. I think he has less than 8 sacks, and then Von Miller too. I mean, he got paid, and I mean, he had a decent first year in Buffalo where he almost cracked 10, but he still didn't get 10 sacks.
Yeah.
And like Von Miller hasn't been Von Miller for the past like 4 years. Like the Super Bowl run he had in the Rams, like he was able to make plays and he looked like Von Miller in the playoffs. But outside of that, Von Miller has not been Von Miller, and he got a massive bag in Buffalo. So, and then Chase Young is also out there, and I think I'm good on Chase Young. I don't want Chase Young at all. Like, I really want us to stay away from Chase Young. A team is going to throw him a bag. I'm just praying it's not us, because he had a good Super Bowl, fantastic Super Bowl performance in my eyes. But I've seen so much from Chase Young that wanted me nothing to do with him at the trade deadline when he was available. And a lot of people wanted him, and I was like, I'm good. Just a lot of like flashes on tape where it's like, it's like he's just half speeding, and kind of just coasting along. I'm good.
Right now, the highest paid edge rushers, Nick Bosa, 34 a year, TJ Watt, 28, Joey Bosa, 27, Myles Garrett, 25, Montez Sweat, 24, and then Rashawn Gary and everybody else below. So, like, we're talking about, and this is crazy, dude. We talked about Shaq Barrett, right? He's getting paid 17 a year. Remember when that happened? Where we're like, my God, that's a massive deal. How different that looks now.
How different 3 years ago? 4 years ago?
Dude.
No, it might have been 3. I think it was 3 years ago.
It's a big change, man. Big change in that number. It's so crazy to see how fast this NFL moves. It's insane. So yeah, I mean, it's where we are.
Crazy.
All right, let's move over to rumors, shall we? Let's move over to rumors. If you guys don't know, we're going to do a real quick, smaller segment. Just 'cause pretty busy here on my end, but we're going to be talking about this rumor that we ended up seeing here over the weekend. And I'll have you take it away here first, Mythic, because I ended up making a video about this.
So shout out NFL Rums, man. Mr. Sources, Mr. Source NFL Rumors on Twitter or X. So apparently the Cardinals have done their extensive work on Bo Nix. So that causes a lot of concern from a lot of people, but some people are not phased. I'm not phased by this. I think this is
Yeah.
absolute what it is. It's just made up rumor in my eyes. And then you got the Cardinals come back with this
Yeah.
bright and early in the morning with just our franchise quarterback. So shout out to the Cardinals admin on X. But what are you feeling? I know you made a video about this.
Yeah. Here's the thing. To me, I get the world that we're living in right now on social media. And it's very easy to send something out there and say, hey, this is a possibility. I think this all started from a mock draft from CBS. This is where I truly, truly think this started from. And I think NFL rumors took it and ran with it. They're like, heck, let's just run with it.
Clicks.
Yeah. I think this all started with the mock draft. And it was of CBS. Now, here's the weird thing. This CBS mock draft is probably one of the worst mock drafts the Arizona Cardinals could have ever picked. So the way that it shook out was number 1 was Caleb Williams. Number 2 was Jaden Daniels. Number 3 was Marvin Harrison Jr., so he ended up getting swiped from us. And then the Cardinals go edge Dallas Turner. Look at your face. Exactly. Now, I'm not saying Dallas Turner is a bad pick or is going to be I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that if the Cardinals truly think that that's your guy, you trade back, right? Because Drake May is still on the board at this very moment. Then you got to capitalize and take advantage of the opportunity that you're sitting in. There's no way in heck the Cardinals are going to go after Dallas Turner with that 4th overall pick. There's no way. And then to double it down on the 27th overall pick, they ended up saying that the Cardinals are going to go Bo Nix because there's got great value at the quarterback position there. Dude, I don't know, man. It's just, it's weird. It's weird. It almost kind of seems like they want the Cardinals to do these dumb things. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. And I'm not phased at this, honestly, to me. I know I had a lot of people kind of reach out to me or tag me and say, oh, look at this. I'm not phased at it, right? But here's the thing. This is the power of social media. Why do you think the Cardinals did this? Why? They just to wake up. Oh, we're waking up. I just want to put a graphic out here about Kyler Murray being franchise quarterback. Because of this. Maybe this and maybe other things that kind of were sprinkling around. This is the power of social media that we're living in these days, ladies and gentlemen. The power of social media. Because you better bet your bottom dollar that if we do get a quarterback in the draft, there's always going to be somebody saying, oh, get this guy, throw this guy, there's this guy. Don't believe it, man. Right now, with what we've been hearing, Monty and JG is fully sold and committed on Kyler. That is the direction that they're going to do. Unless something catastrophic happens in 2024, and I'm talking about an injury. And like I said, no one, I'm not trying to, we're not talking, but it's what I'm saying. Right now, he's QB1. He's QB1. It's just the way that it is.
Easily.
So, yeah, I'm not phased at it, honestly. I'm really not. There was people that were coming up in an uproar. I'm not phased at it. Do you think the Cardinals will draft the quarterback in this draft? I'm going to ask you that serious question.
I don't think so. I really don't. We kind of have a prospect, if you even want to say that, just someone who's a year in the system. You might as well just develop him and let him come along into his own, because I don't think Clayton Tune's ever going to be anything crazy, but he definitely has traits that'll make him a solid backup. And I feel like he'll develop into his own. He's already a big body. They already use him for our own version of the tush push.
Yeah.
So he gets reps in certain situations. So I feel like if Clayton Tune ever needs to step in the game and Kyler Murray does go down for a game or two, or ends up missing a game, that I would like to have Clayton Tune come along and be that guy. I genuinely would, because he's cheaper than anything. You go sign a free agent, it's going to cost a lot of money, 4, 5, 6, 7 million. I'd rather have Clayton Tune come along and maybe go sign a back-end veteran, someone like Colt McCoy. Who knows? But I think they're going to keep the quarterback room at 2, and I'd rather just rock Clayton Tune, if I'm being honest.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's a question. As a topic that I don't feel like we really talk too much about is what are the Cardinals going to do with that second quarterback position? As of right now, it doesn't seem like it's something that we really should talk about, unless we do something in free agency. Then obviously it's all fair game from there. I think if the Cardinals do get a quarterback. I don't think the Cardinals will even touch a quarterback with the first 3, maybe not even the first 4. We just got so many holes. It's not even worth it, honestly.
And so much talent in this draft.
Yeah.
Like, stay away.
Yeah, 100%. And this is an opportunity for the Cardinals to potentially get three starters out of the 6. I'm not asking for a home run. All 6 have to be starters, but we have potential to get 3 starters in the top 100. So we got to take advantage of that. Let me ask you this question. I got my guy Lance here in the chat. I think I know your answer. He's asking this. If someone offers an enormous offer for Kyler, do we take it?
No. Because let's just say I don't even know what an extensive offer is going to be, or like an enormous offer, but let's just say some team gives us like a first and a second or something like that, like a first, second, third, and another second. What are you going to do this year? You're rocking with Clayton Tune, and then you have all this money and everything, and then you're just rocking Clayton Tune for this season. You kind of just threw it away. You know what I mean? And a weak NFC, you're kind of just throwing it to the birds. So no, no. Like, this is second year Kyler Murray in this system with new footwork. He looked great coming off an ACL tear. You just let him develop into his own. And I wouldn't even say develop, just let him come into his own with the new system. I feel like he has all the talent.
I agree with you. If they do that, it is a throwaway. Because what teams right now in the top 4 would want a quarterback? The people that are in the positions that they're in. Right?
Yeah.
Unless you're trading back with, or let's say Atlanta somehow does it. It's just you're moving to 6, but you're also screwing yourself at the same time. Like, right? You I don't know. I just don't see it happening. It's just the Cardinals are where they're at. There's just no position for us to do anything like that, honestly. So I'm gonna say no. Just a quick no.
Yeah, I agree.
Dea says no need for a QB this draft. We have Tune.
I agree. I'd let him come into his own. Let Tune come along.
All right, perfect. So that was the rumors. I do a complete breakdown on my channel. If you want to check that out, definitely go and check it out. Let's talk about one thing here. We're going to do a small abbreviated podcast today just because I got a lot of work to do here on my end. But you wanted to talk about something, and I want to talk about it too. So I'll let you take it away, Cam Newton.
I just think this is crazy. And I'm sure some of you guys have seen this already. But if you haven't, Cam Newton was, I believe, hosting an event. And you would think as a kid, 15, 16 years old, getting to go to an event of a former MVP and arguably a top, 7, 8 quarterback of this generation, one of the best running quarterbacks of all time. You'd want to pick his brain. Like, how did you get here? Like, what did you do? What's the work you put in? Like, what is to be expected at the NFL level? But instead, this is what happens. He gets jumped. Crazy thing is, too, he held his own. And not only held his own, but he was smiling at some point and just, bopping these dudes.
Bro, all I could see is that dang, looks like a witch hat. I just see,
his hair.
Bro, it looks like, it's his hair. But, dude, it's a trip, bro.
They couldn't even take him down. It was a 3-on-1. Why?
Bro.
What are you thinking attacking a 6'6", 250-pound quarterback? This man was playing his whole career without an offensive line. He's used to carrying dead weight, right? He's used to carrying people into the end zone.
Bro,
and 3 people are out here jumping him. He's not even a sweat. He's just smiling.
You know, the funny thing is that we talked about this a little earlier before we started the stream, but there was a guy that actually was, I think this was premeditated, bro. This is premeditated from those guys. They were trying to do something. And this is a sad part, bro. It's really sad. This is, he's coming out here and trying to help the community.
Put on for the community.
Yeah.
What is wrong with people? And if it's premeditated, I don't even know. Kids nowadays are crazy. Because if I was able, let's just say, I don't even know. Let's just say Kurt Warner or Carson Palmer was hosting an event. Never in my right mind would I be like, yeah, I'm going to jump Kurt Warner today. I'm going to go jump Larry Fitzgerald today. Nah, dog. If I get an opportunity, I'm picking his brain or something conversating. I'm not all right, cool. Let's put the black Air Forces on, go jump Larry Fitz.
It's my time to shine. And then there's some like still images of these guys getting like freaking
Wax.
smacked on the floor. This man's still standing. It's wild, dude. It really is. I don't get it. We need to be better, please, young generation. Stop trying to jump these behemoths that are their career is to hold their own, right? Like their job is to hold their own against like people 2 times their size. So like,
right.
Come on, like let's be smarter. Let's not do that. He's trying to do right from the community, and I get it. Like, there's some people that probably on the wrong side. He did start his own podcast, and I think he's rubbing people the wrong way. But it's opinions, man. It's opinions. At the end of the day, like if it's really that troubling to you, stop watching.
Oh yeah,
stop watching.
Right. It's that simple.
Yeah.
It's
all right,
simple.
Man. Anything else you want to talk about before we close up shop today?
That's pretty much it for me. I think that's pretty much it for us. But like the excitement is definitely teeter-tottering. It's been here for weeks already, and we're just inching closer and closer.
Almost there, man.
The Cardinals making moves, and I'm excited. I believe, what is it? Is there something going on in the NFL draft today?
A combine. The combine
is today, and measurements and all that. So definitely keep your eye out for that. I'm excited. This is step 1. We're inching closer and closer.
Yeah, we got the combine from this Monday to next Monday. I believe the workouts actually start on Thursday. So a lot to obviously dive into. I think I could only assume what you're saying. I think you're going to be ramping up content here. And I just got a notification that you just dropped the video, Mythic. So check out Mythic AZ on YouTube. And I just dropped the video earlier today as well. But I've been working on another video coming your way as well. So ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you guys for tuning in. As always, smack the like button if you guys haven't done so already. We're going to be closing up shop. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day and go Cards.